benefits of improvising is that it is something which is of the moment, where you're forced to shut off your mental brain. So therefore, when you do that, when you're in the moment, when you shut off your mental brain, there's a certain flow in what you do. You might play things that you regret afterwards, but that's the nature of improvisation. Once you've played it, it's out there. You can't go back and erase it. You could do that if you videotape yourself, or if you were to record it on tape. You could go back and edit out what you don't want to say. But if you were live on the radio or live in front of an audience and you play something, you cannot go back and erase it. What is done is done. Free improvisation really exposes the musician's personality, what they have inside them. Because in this type of improvisation, they don't have any structure or cliches to hide behind. This is why this kind of music might seem very demanding to the listener, because it is a very raw kind of music. Now, what is actually improvisation? We could start with language. We improvise in language. We have conversations with friends, we talk on the phone. Even when we do lectures, even when we teach, we improvise almost all the time, because we can't rely on... Imagine if you were to teach a class and every single thing that you say is scripted. Now, there is varying degrees of structure, of course. Of course, in this video, I know that I'm going to speak about improvisation. That's my structure. But I don't know how I'm going to say it. I don't know how I'm going to choose my words and what is going to come first and what's going to come next. So I'm going to improvise within the framework, which is called teaching improvisation. So where do we start? We can start with something that everybody has, which is language. Everybody has a skill, an ability, a capability to produce sounds with their voice and to shape consonants and vowels with our tongue, and etc., etc. And we also have something called language, which is a coded set of phrases, expressions, and sentences and words which we can string together to form meaningful sentences and thereby communicate with each other. So these are our starting points. Okay, so what you're hearing here is a piano improvisation. Now basically, all there is to it is that I sit down at the piano and start playing. But I do have an idea of what I'm doing. I know that I'm doing a certain kind of improvisation. I know that it's going to be very rhythmical and not very tonal. One thing you can note is that the reason why I'm able to do it is because I have a very high fluency of the piano. I've been playing piano for about 27 years, and so playing the piano is something which is completely second nature to me. I have no use of prior thinking of what I'm going to do. I just sit down and place my hands, and then everything just goes automatically. You'll notice also that one of my backgrounds in piano is when I started playing piano the first 3 or 4 years, I was very intensely classically trained, which you hear here. Thoughts I've been asking myself is this actually improvisation? Because I've played the piano for such a long time, and also because I've been improvising for such a long time, I might actually have played. It's not necessarily that I am making up new stuff, it's just that I'm rearranging old stuff, but I'm doing that in the moment. So what you could say is that I have my 27 years background. You can look at it as I have a big bag, which is 27 years of musical experience on my back. And what I do is I scoop my hand down in the bag and I pull out stuff from that experience. So what's in the bag is actually not new. I'm just, the thing that's new and in the moment is the fact that I pull it out. Of course, I do have a lot of influences. Of course, I'm not the only one before me who has done this. There's quite a lineage of piano players who improvise freely. One of the biggest pianists that come to mind is Cecil Taylor. And of course, what you're hearing here is very inspired by him. There are also other improvisers, other piano improvisers that are really important to mention. Irene Schweitzer, Marilyn Crispell, and then of course there's, now this is not really, you can say this is not really in the jazz idiom, but of course there's all the jazz pianists who, without them, you wouldn't really have this kind of music, although they didn't really work in this kind of free structure.